What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Got a short little video for you today. I was able to go into live battle royale matches and test the new BP50 assault rifle, as well as the two magazines that change its damage. This is super frustrating that I have to do this. There's still no private matches, so I have to literally queue into the same BR match with a friend, and then we have to avoid enemies and go in and test stuff, and it's just really annoying that I have to do that. But we were able to do it today, so I just want to cover the base stats of the weapon and kind of how it fits in, and to help you guys understand if you should actually go unlock it, if it's worth unlocking and leveling up. But yeah, it can be a short video, but let's jump into it. All right, so like I said, I've got the base damage profile. So starting with RPM down here in the stats, it's around 700 RPM. First drop off is at 37 meters. If we look at the damage profile, it's 39, 36. So you got a really nice neck multiplier, 28 chest, and then the rest of the values, stomach and extremities, are all 26 damage. And then out past 37 meters, it's 28 head, 26 neck, 20 chest, and 19 to stomach and extremities. If you look at the DBS chart right off the bat, it's only doing 235 damage per second out at range. So right away, it's very not competitive. But let's go compare it to some other guns on the TTK chart. Before we go look at the TTK chart, let's look at the different magazines. So the 30 Russian short, 50 round drum. This does an extra 9 damage to the head in the first damage drop off, and then it cuts your damage range down to 31 meters, and then 31 meters and beyond it does an extra 7 damage. So that's a pretty nice little benefit with not much penalty there. And then the 7.62 50 round regular mag, this increases your chest damage, so you do 3 extra chest damage in the first range, no difference to damage drop off, so it's still 37 meters. And then beyond 37 meters you get 23 damage now to the chest rather than 20. I don't have the recoil plot. I'm not going to have attachment stats for a while. I don't have the aiming stability yet. This is just because I've got some real life stuff I have to go take care of today, so it's not going to be able to be up today, but hopefully the next couple days I'll get the rest of the attachment stats up. But looking at the base stats, 238 millisecond ADS time, so that's pretty fast for an AR. Not super fast, but pretty fast. Bullet velocity I have not tested yet. That's just a placeholder value from another AR. All the movement speeds I have tested, so it's a little slower than some of the other guns for movement speed. 4.77 meters per second movement, 2.41 ADS, so nothing crazy here. I was able to test sprint to fire and tag sprint to fire, so these are pretty standard AR values. 263 for sprint to fire, and then 400-ish for tag sprint. Hip fire I have not actually checked yet. This is the default value I use for ARs until I can check them. Reload time's pretty slow, 2.88 seconds. The biggest mags you can get are 50 rounds, so far it's not looking like it's very good. Let's add the 3 different versions of the gun: the base gun, the version with the 7.62 mag, and the version with the Russian short mag, and compare those time to kill to something like I don't know, like an STG. All right, so 300 health, combination shot location, TTK chart. We've got the BP50 in orange, BP50 with the Russian short mag. In magenta, the cyan is the BP50 with the 7.62 mag. Green is the STG with the 7.62 Gorenko 50 round mag, and then the lighter blue color is the Armaguerra with the 8mm Kurz 64 round mag. Side note, all of the changes from the patch are up on TGD from the most recent patch. I got those finished up this morning, so this is the new nerfed version of the Armaguerra. Still going to be a very good weapon, but that's for another video. I just put that on here so we had something to compare to directly with the BP50. So you can see the BP50 in orange by itself is just not competitive at all. It's basically the same as the STG in that first damage range. It has more range, but a really, really aggressive drop off. Like, we're talking like KG M40 TTK at range or worse. So just not really worth using when the STG is going to have dramatically faster time to kill. It does have a little bit more range, like you can see, but it's just, I don't think it's worth using. And then the BP50 7.62 mag is actually underneath the regular BP50 and then follows the Russian short mag out at range here. So if I turn both those off, we can just see how it compares to the STG. So this is the 7.62 50 round mag for the BP50, basically the same again as the STG, but it has a little bit more range. And then out at range again, it's still gonna have an awful time to kill at 1.71 seconds. That's just really, really slow. So just so far not looking competitive at all. So I'll turn that off now and then turn on the BP50 with the Russian short round. So this is quite a bit faster than the STG, about 80 milliseconds faster than the STG in the first range with slightly more damage range, but then it's gonna be a lot worse time to kill out past that first drop off. It's just an aggressive damage drop out at 31 or 37 meters depending on which mag you choose. So I don't think it's really gonna fit in. We'll have to wait until I get all the attachments to really know, but right now it doesn't really look like it's worth leveling to me. I put the Armaguerra on here just so you can see how an SMG TTK looks in comparison to it. Even with there's a few attachments for the BP50 that increase your fire rate by a decent amount. I don't have the numbers yet, like I said, but those are going to reduce that time to kill. But it's just kind of an awkward gun. I don't think it's really going to fit in, like maybe for a sniper support, but then there's just going to be guns that are going to be quite a bit better at that too. So I don't really think it's worth leveling overall. But we'll have to wait for all the attachment stats to see if there's something that stands out crazy. But usually you can tell from the base stats and all of the damage modification kind of how it's going to work out, because it's always going to have this terrible TTK at range unless for some reason those fire rate attachments really make a huge difference. But I've used them. I have the gun fully leveled and it feels like this. Like it feels kind of like it's just shooting marshmallows, just not really doing very much damage. So my advice would be, if you don't have a lot of time, don't worry about leveling it. It doesn't seem like it's going to be competitive at this point. They might buff it in the future, but we're kind of at the end of Warzone 1, so I'd be a little surprised if we saw a buff to it. But we don't really know the future plans. We don't know what they're planning to do here. But real quickly, let's look at the summary table and see how the movement compares to the ARMA and the ADS time. So it's the STG. So the STG is going to have a little bit worse ADS. Movement speed's worse on the BP50, which is what I said. It felt pretty slow, pretty chunky. ADS movement speed's worse on the BP50, so it's really not going to be a competitive gun. So I wouldn't worry about leveling it. All right, everybody, really short video. Just wanted to give you the rundown of the new weapon. Not looking very competitive, but I don't know. We'll see with attachments if something changes, but it can't really change that much because I already have all the damage profiles taken. So yeah, I just don't really think it's worth leveling. But that's all I wanted to cover today. If you guys appreciate all the content I make, don't forget to drop a like on the video, and if you want to see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe. But I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video.